Okay. I even did a different background. I did a different background to see if that makes it. Why does my phone do that? I did a different background to see if that makes a difference. If it doesn't make a difference, then I quit. I quit. Not really. Not really. But, I'm just. Maybe I'll just go take a nap or something. Because I don't feel very good. My offspring, yippee woke up not feeling very good either. So maybe I should just go take a nap. I might feel better. But I'm going to try. We're going to have one on one conversations, and nobody is going to. Whoa. Nobody is going to make this live get restrictions. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Han Scolo. Your words of encouragement are so meaningful to me. That was a bad heart. There we go. I got one of those. All right. God provides best. Are you there?
Yes, how are you doing today?
I've been better. These lives have been very annoying this morning. This is like my fourth
Oh,
time starting a live because
oh,
things just keep not going well. But
I
we're
see.
back. We're back and we're better. And I have a different background. Why? Okay, how old are you?
I am 37.
Wait, and why is God such a meanie?
I would say that uh, so this God works all things together for good. However, this God in Isaiah 45 verse 7 admits to being in charge of all light and darkness, peace and evil, everything. This God sets up games and scenarios and experiments because this God is looking for heroes to rise up in the movement of mercy and compassion and love and kindness and unconditional love. So, opportunities. This God wants all beings to level up into maturity of reconciliation with all beings.
So he's mean because he wants people to be level up.
Yeah, like scenarios, like a psychologist.
All right, so what leveling up occurred when he turned Lot's wife into a block of salt?
So, I believe in NDEs and reincarnation. So, I
That's not
imagine
what I
she,
asked.
well, I'm saying she went into the afterlife with learning lessons. That was a negative reinforcement because she looked back instead of looking forward. So there's negative reinforcement, positive reinforcement.
The lesson she leveled up by learning to not turn around anymore.
That's right.
Really?
That's an important lesson. It's important to look to the future and move forward. Some people are stuck in nostalgia when they should be focusing on the future.
Her whole town, everybody and everything that she's ever known and loved was burning down. She
That's
wasn't stuck on
nostalgia.
the. Yeah, she just wanted to like look back and just look. You think nostalgia's bad?
Yeah.
Why is nostalgia bad? Why is looking fondly on your past bad?
Because if you really want to progress, then you have to be in the moment and focusing on the future. You have to be
Sure,
focusing
but
on
that
leveling up.
two things can be true at once. You can have fond thoughts about your past while also focusing on the future. Do you not have any fond thoughts about your past?
I really try not to think about my past because think about it. If you're constantly changing, that means that like all your hobbies are going to
Do
be
you
different. The
have
way you
any
think is going to be
fond
different.
memories of the past? There's nothing that you think back on and go, oh, that was so great. I love that that happened. No family vacations, no birthdays, no nothing, no Christmases.
No, everything got upgraded or changed. No.
That's strange. Yeah, see, I'm a person who has lots of fond memories of my past because I've had a good life. And I also focus on the future. You can do both.
Well, with God, the technique is like manifestation, where you negotiate with God about what you would like to see in the future, negotiating the future, because that makes everything better. It's like a strategy game.
And how do you even learn about the future and like how to move around the world in the future if you don't reflect on the things that happened in the past? Wouldn't you just find yourself making the same mistakes over and over again if you're not thinking and reflecting about things that happened in the past?
That's a great point. You're right. So you would only discuss the past with God while discussing the future. So you're right. You would be like, what lessons did I learn? How do I move forward? What are better strategies? Why is it a better strategy? What can I learn from this? Yeah. If you're constantly learning, that's the best way to be. And you should learn from everything.
So you do think that it is good to look to the past.
As long as you're utilizing that information solely because you're focusing on the future.
How do you know that that's not what Lot's wife was doing?
Because God got very upset with her.
That doesn't answer my question. How do you
Because
know
God,
that Lot's wife wasn't looking back to try to focus, to try to learn her lessons and focus on the future?
God
How are you
looked,
positive that that didn't happen? Crystal, I
because
see you. I'm not bringing anybody up right now. I kicked everybody out. Um,
because God looks at the heart and the mind and the intention. So if God got upset with somebody, there's usually a very precise reason why God got upset. And
so
I'm only
what was
guessing,
the
right? We don't have an
reason?
official reason why he got upset. I'm just guessing why God got upset.
Okay. So your position is that you shouldn't look at the past except for the times that you should look at the past. And that just trust God because he knows better.
Yeah, as Christians, we believe that God knows better, but also there's certain concepts that he wants us to focus on, like mercy and kindness. So there are times to argue with God.
I just okay. So you think people should be put to death for the crime of turning around.
No,
But that's what you're affirming right now.
no, I think that Lot should have negotiated with God to save his wife.
You don't think that God should have just not given her the death penalty for the crime of turning around? Wait,
Oh,
was it good? Was it a good thing that God did when he put her to death for turning around?
no, I think that could have been handled. All of it could have been handled way better. I
So
do
you
not
think
like
that
that that
God did a
happened.
bad thing when he put her to death?
Yeah, I think that wasn't nice.
So you agree that God does bad things?
Yeah, Isaiah 45:7 says that he's in charge of all good and evil. And then, so that's why we negotiate. That's what prayer's all about. Prayer and negotiation with God is all about God taking better options. That's what all these scenarios are about, that will
All
initiate
right. Well, I
prayers.
mean, I feel like we're in agreement here. Really, the only purpose of this prompt is to get people to admit that God isn't all good, but you never thought that he was all good.
Well, he is working all things together for good. That's the plot twist. That's where it becomes controversial.
But he's not all good, and you don't think that he is.
Well, if if there is a good goal in mind, then
I don't know, you guys. This might just be nap time for Arwen because I'm struggling here. Hello, Dougie.
Hello, you know why God's a meanie?
Why?
It's because the people that made him up back in that day thought like that, and they were meanies.
Okay, I agree with you. Thank goodness somebody says sensible things, but you're
I
not
know!
supposed to be here. No friendlies allowed. Oh my gosh, I didn't even kick you. Bible guy did that. But I was about to kick you, so. But thank you for that. That improved. That put a smile on my face. Lucas,
Hey, how's it going? Can you
I've
hear me?
been better. I've been better. This live is frustrating me today. How old are you though?
Well,
You're cutting out.
years old.
Oh, you're cutting out real bad.
33 years old. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, are
Hello?
you driving?
I am. Yeah, I was just.
Yeah. Please don't drive in live.
Yo, hello.
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
how you doing?
I'm doing just peachy. How old are you?
25.
Sweet. And why is God such a meanie?
Well, I was gonna ask you that. You the one with the prompt. What makes you think he's mean?
So do you think that God's not mean?
No, I think he's all loving.
What religion do you subscribe to? Quickly.
Christianity.
Sweet. Yeah, have you ever read the Bible?
I have read about. Have you?
Yep. That's how I know that God's mean.
But how so? He gives eternal life.
Did you read the part where he genocides babies and tortures animals and gives people sicknesses on or like disabilities on purpose or like any of the other mean stuff he does in there?
Yeah, you talking about Deuteronomy?
I'm talking about there. It's all over the fucking place.
Is there
Did
a
you not
specific?
read? Did you not read any of like the
I read it.
genocides, the tortures, the stoning of children and women, the burning of women, the slavery stuff, the
I would.
giving people disabilities on purpose? Like none of that stuff registered to you?
I read that, but I need you to give me like a specific book or verse because there's so many different things that's
Okay, but
mentioned.
like all those things that I just listed, was that a list of good things?
There was reasons behind that, and if
Was
you
that a
read the
list?
Bible,
Was
you would.
that a list of the things that I just listed? Was that a list of good things?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Since you think that all those things are good, now I'll get specifics. I'll get the specifics.
But like I said, you got to tell me where you read it, what
I
part,
know
because there's
I'm gonna
reasons.
get it really quick. Hold on. The
All
the
right.
verse that I want, I don't have it off the top of my head. We're gonna talk about why God gives people disabilities intentionally. Gives people disabilities. Um, where um Exodus 4:11, I think that might be the one that I'm looking for. It says, "Who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes them deaf and mute? Who gives them sight or makes it blind? Is it not I, the Lord?" So he's admitting to giving people disabilities. Do you think that's a good thing to give people disabilities?
Yeah, God has reasons.
So if I gave you a disability, if I made you deaf and blind, would I be doing a good thing?
Are you God in this situation, or are you just a human?
Well,
Like,
is it good to give people disabilities? Yes or no?
is it good to give people disabilities? Yeah, it depends on the situation. That's why I asked you: are you God in this scenario, or are you just a
How
human?
would it depend on the situation? Like, are you saying is your stance that God's morality is different from human morality?
I think as humans that follow religion, they go off of God's morality.
Is God's moral is do humans have to follow different moral laws than God does?
No,
So we have the same morals for God and for humans?
well, I think He gives us the morals in the Bible, and we read it, so we
Yeah,
understand
so
what's good and evil.
do humans have to follow different moral rules than God? Or do we have the same, is it the same on both sides?
It should be the same, but as humans
But
are,
is it?
is it?
You're
Well,
saying it
that
should be, okay, so you're saying it should be the same.
yeah, but
So
let
if
me
it's
let me
good
explain.
if it's good for God to give people disabilities, why would it not be good for me to give you a disability?
But you're not God in that situation.
But you said it should be the same. You
Yeah,
said
but
that our morality is the same. So if God doing something is good, then that would mean that it's good for humans to do that same thing, right?
yeah, but there's certain things that we just cannot do.
So you're saying, I don't understand what you're saying. Do you think that we have a different set of moral rules that we need to follow?
God gives us rules to follow,
Does
so we
God's
gotta obey
rules,
by
is
those.
God's morality different from human morality?
Mm, I would like to explain this. Okay, I
No,
want to
I
give you
want
an.
you to answer the
No, I'm
question.
gonna I'm
Is
gonna answer
God's
it.
morality the same as humans' morality, or are they two separate things?
I would say it's different because we're humans and we make mistakes. So
Okay,
we
but
so we can.
in your idea of a perfect world, we would be having the same morality as God, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but we would also
So
understand. Hold on,
how
but
could
yes,
you possibly
but
say that it would be bad for me to give you a disability if I'm doing what
because I
God
got it.
does?
Let me explain. Please let me explain. It's different because we're not God. We don't possess the divine powers that God
So,
has.
so what the fuck does that have to do with anything when you're saying that our morality should be exactly the
Because
same?
what'd you quote? You said Exodus. He says, "I give them this. I give them that." That's God saying He gives it. So I can't say I give it
But
to you
are
because
you,
I'm not God.
but it's, so you do think that human morality should be different than God's morality?
No, I think we should obey the
Do
rules that He
you
gives
think
us.
that humans have the same moral rule book, or we should have the same moral rule book that God has?
There's rules that God gave
Do you
us.
think that humans should have the same moral rule book that God has?
That's we're incapable of because we don't have the
But do
power.
you
I'm trying
think
to tell
that we
you.
should? Do you think that humans should have
No, because we're
identical
not God.
morality to God?
No, because we're not God.
Okay, so we have different. Do you understand that for up until just now, you have said the exact opposite, that you think humans' morality should be identical to God's? Do you understand that you said that multiple times?
Yeah, but you're not
And
understanding
now
what I'm
you're
trying to
saying that
say.
you don't think human morality should be identical to God's.
I'm trying to tell you
I
that
just don't
God.
understand what the fuck your position is. I don't want you to explain yourself. I want you to just tell me for sure whether or not you think human morality should be identical to God's. Because at this point, you have said both. You said that it shouldn't be identical, and you said that it should be identical. So which one is it really?
When I say yes, then you say, then how come you can't do what God does? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. If
Oh,
you
but
think that morality should be identical to if you think human
that's
morality
why I'm
should be
telling you, He
identical,
gives us rules.
if you think human morality should be identical to God's morality, then everything God does, that's good. If humans did the same thing, it would be good. I don't think you do think that God's morality should be identical to human morality. I think that you think they should be two separate things. God has his own set of morals and humans have their own set of morals. That's what I'm picking up from this. Am I right?
Your standpoint or my standpoint?
Your standpoint, from what you have explained to me about your thoughts and your position on this, what I am taking away is that you think God should have his own set of morals over there and humans should have their own set of morals over here. Am I right
Okay,
in thinking that?
okay. We're on the right track. Okay, but when you say humans have their own set of morals, are you thinking that humans make their own morals or they get the morals from God?
I that wasn't even part of what I said. All that I'm saying right now, all that I'm trying to understand is that you think God has a set of morals that are over here and humans have morals that are over here, and they are not the same thing, right?
No. You need to hear what I'm saying.
I am hearing what you're saying, and what you're saying is contradictory as hell.
We should follow God's morals, but there's certain things that we just cannot do because we're not God. So when
So
God
then
says,
we don't have
so,
identical morals to
so
God, do we?
of course not, because we're
Our
not God.
morals are over here, while God's morals are over there. There are things that he can do that would be considered good, and there are things that if we did the same thing, it wouldn't be good. So our moral systems are separate. They're not the same thing, right?
Okay, fine, yes. All right,
Okay,
okay. Now what's the next one? What's the next? Where are you going with this?
this is where you're going with it. I'm trying to understand your position. This is what we've been doing the whole time, is just I've been trying to understand your position because you have been flip-flopping the whole time we've been talking.
All right. Well, I just need you to understand that we can't do certain things because we're not God. So yes,
Okay,
if you're
yes,
gonna go
I
off
understand. You think God has a set of moralities that are here. Humans have a set of moralities that are here. They are not the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm glad that you finally were able to
All right.
to communicate that.
I'm a bit slow. My
So
bad.
you don't believe in objective morality.
Objective morality. Can you break that down for me? Give me an example.
Like morals, an objective moral would be something that is true regardless of a mind or a stance.
Okay, yeah. Because God said it. Okay, yeah.
So you don't think objective morality exists?
I think it can exist to certain people. Yes.
That's not how objective morality works. Either it's real or it's not.
Well, I mean, some people might believe certain things, and some people might not believe it. So
That's
if you ask my
subjective. That's subjective morality. That's not objective morality.
all right, my bad. Like I said, I'm a bit slow, yo. I don't think God is
Alrighty.
mad.
Well, I don't really know where to go from here, and I'm honestly really tired of having to hold your hand through this conversation, if I'm going to be totally honest. That was exhausting. Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm all right. How old are you?
I am 70 years old, and from the beginning, I let you know English is not my native language. But the only reason I'm calling you is because I have a son that listens to you, and that's what introduced me to you, and I want to call you and express my beliefs. And we are here, you can tell me your beliefs or my beliefs, but I'm here to say something. And I
Did you say
hope,
you have a son that listens to me?
yes.
Does your son agree with my position, or does your son disagree with my position?
No, he agrees with your position.
Do
He agrees
you
with your
agree with my
position.
position?
No, I just going first is the first time that he put me to listen to you, and I want to express my beliefs. That's the only reason why I'm calling you, and to see if you give me your perspectives, and I see it the way you see it, and I try to express mine, and you tell me, I mean, if I'm wrong or right, but we are here to express whatever we think.
Yeah, I think God's a really big meanie. What about you?
All right, I'm going to express something to you. You must have your beliefs why you think like that, but in my case, I know God is good. God is good to me and to a lot of people. And like in anything else, a lot of people have the same thought that you told me just now. And I know a lot of people that they think the way they think. But I was raised up in a Colombian
Hold
family.
on. Hold on. My fucking gardener is right outside my front door and he's being so loud. I'm gonna move.
Okay,
One moment, please.
sure.
Sorry, I asked if you guys could hear the gardener, but it doesn't even matter if you guys can hear him because I can't even hear what you're saying. One second, I gotta turn the light back on. I love having a gardener. Didn't love that though. Okay. Is this better? I can still hear him.
Yes.
Hopefully you
Yeah,
guys can.
we hear him a little. But anyway, what I'm trying to let you know is I grew up in a family, in a family like with Catholic, with the values that they teach us since we are young, very young, the belief in God, to believe in God. So I've been brought through that tradition, and through the years, as I stated, I'm 70 years old, and I, through faith, by faith, because I haven't seen, but by faith, I believe in God. That's my like what can I express to you? And something else that I'm going to express to you is this. When I couldn't have babies, so I went even for a treatment, and the treatment didn't work. But when some people can get treatments, they cannot get a child. So when I get the child and they gave me a cesarean in the Cornell Hospital, when I hold my son in my hands, I said, wow, this is a miracle. This is something so wonderful that I was shocked
So
to
God,
hold
you're saying that like your
like
ability
that.
to have a baby when it was really difficult for you like shows
Yes,
you that God's all good.
yes. Okay, so that's what I'm
What
saying.
about all of the people who really want to have babies who can't? They go through the same IVS process that you've gone through and it still doesn't work for them.
I agree
Is God
completely
being
on
good?
that.
Is God being all
No,
good
no,
there?
no,
Or
no,
does
no,
God's goodness only matter when it applies to you? Or
no,
do you worry
no,
about how he
no,
interacts with other people too?
no. That I agree with you. It doesn't apply only to me, because I know it's a lot of people that they want to have babies, they cannot have babies, right?
What about a
But
bunch of people who have babies and then they can't feed their babies, so their babies end up starving and die? Was God being
okay,
all good there?
no, but let me tell you this. In that case, I don't blame God because the babies are hungry. No, I
Why
completely
don't you blame God? He could
no.
have fed those babies the same way he helped you get pregnant.
You know why what I think? Because I've been thinking of this. There is a lot, is hunger, is a lot of babies, people that they cannot eat. But you know what I blame? I blame like the government. Why the government? Why the people, the
Why would
rich
you blame the
people?
government? Is the government all good and all powerful?
No,
Does
the
the
government.
government have the ability to just think a thought and feed every human being on earth?
No, but the thing is,
Does God have the ability to think a thought and have every belly full on earth? Could God do
yes,
that if he wanted to?
God has God has the ability, but he
But
give
he
us
just
here.
doesn't want to. He prefers to see the people die of starvation,
But
right?
I don't blame God for that, because
You
the
don't blame
people,
God that he
no,
prefers to see people die of starvation.
no, because we are surrounded, but a lot of people that they can do a lot of things for the hungry people. The society that we live
God
in,
could do a lot of. Why do you keep talking about people? We have an
because
all-powerful God who you believe is getting you pregnant or helping you to get pregnant, but it doesn't matter when he lets a bunch of people die of
no,
starvation. You don't
no.
blame him for that?
No, I'm not saying, but I still don't blame God for that, because we are, as a human beings, as a society, if
I
we
don't
get
give it,
together,
Elizabeth, I don't care about society and human beings in regards to this topic. I'm not talking about society. I'm not talking about human
okay,
beings. You need to reckon with the fact that your God is willing to help you get pregnant, but isn't willing to help all of those living human beings who are dying of
Okay,
starvation every day? Why are
okay,
you
so
okay with a God who will just sit by idly and watch people starve when he could easily feed them all?
okay, so according to what I perceive from what you're telling me is that if God exists, according to you, there is no hunger. Everybody has to be happy, and we have to live like in a
No,
paradise.
I'm asking you. You think your God is all powerful. You think your God is helping you to get pregnant. Why don't you care that he isn't helping the starving people?
No,
Why don't you
I
care about
care.
that?
Let me tell you something. I really care because I
No, you
cannot
said
be
you don't
immune.
blame God. You said it's not God's fault that
No,
people starve, which yes, the fuck it is God's fault that people starve.
but
He could just think a thought, snap his finger, and every belly is full. He chooses not to do that every day. Why do you think it's good that he lets people starve?
because my beliefs, I still think that we are not here like everybody's gonna be in a paradise and I snap of the finger, everybody, I wish everybody can have a house, someplace to live, no hunger.
Why would you wish that everybody has a house and some place to live? God doesn't want that. God doesn't
Okay,
want everybody to have a house.
so
If God wanted everybody to have a house, he would just make sure everybody has a house because he's all powerful. He doesn't want that. He wants people to be homeless.
and another thing that I have to say, we are not supposed to have homeless people. We live in a
Well, if
in
we
a
weren't
country.
supposed to have homeless people, then why doesn't God give them homes? He's all
So
powerful. He prefers the world in which the people are homeless.
okay, so let me tell you. Why I know your point. If the God that I believe is so powerful, the homeless, the hungry people is not supposed to exist. But that's why I'm calling you to see your point of view, and I'm letting you know my point of view.
Yeah, your point of view is that you think it's good that God lets children starve
No,
and lets
no,
homeless
no,
people be homeless.
no. I will never
So
agree.
do you think it's bad that God lets children starve?
Look, eh, you want to blame God because of the
Of
children are
course I
starving.
blame God. If God exists and he is all powerful, then he could make it so nobody starves and that everybody's homeless. But he
Okay,
prefers the world where people are starving and people are homeless. That's bad.
it's very bad because I got your point. If we have that God, why these things exist? But on the other hand, I think and I say it to my point up to now that God, for me, God is good and something else.
Yeah, he's good to you, but he's not good to all the starving homeless people and
No,
you don't care about them.
no,
You only
I
care
care
that he's good
about
to
them.
you.
It's good.
No, you don't. You don't care about the starving homeless people. If you did, you would tell God, hey, God, you're being a bad God by letting these people starve and be homeless. You don't
Okay,
care.
so I care. So what we are supposed to say? We
No,
are
you
supposed to
don't.
say
Do not
God.
pretend that you care. Do not pretend that you care.
Okay,
It's insulting that you would say that you care. You do
no,
not care.
I really care
I don't
about the
believe you
homeless
even a
and
little
this.
bit. I don't believe
Okay,
you even a little bit. You, just like God, prefer the world where everybody or where lots of children are starving and homeless. That's the world you want.
okay. So that I don't want that word. I don't want it because I don't agree. It's very bad, and I
So
feel a lot of
Is
compassion
God
for the
all good
people.
when he lets children starve? Is he doing a good thing?
According to your point of view, not so.
I'm asking
According
according to your point of view, is God doing a good thing every single day when he lets children starve? Is that good?
is not good, but I don't believe that God has nothing to do with that. I believe
How could God have nothing to do with that? Do you agree that if God wanted to, he could snap his fingers and everybody would have a full belly? Do you think that that's something he's capable of?
it's capable of,
So
but
he
it's
is,
not
if you,
happening.
do you think that God is capable of filling everybody's bellies and giving everybody a home?
It's capable, but he give us the free will for
Do
the
you
help us
think
to
that,
do
so you
something.
do agree that God is capable of doing those things and that he just chooses not to?
Okay, but on the other
No,
hand,
I'm asking you a
okay, yes,
question. I'm
it's
asking you
capable,
a question. Do you
capable
think
to
that
do
he
it.
is capable? Do you think that he is capable of feeding the hungry and giving homes to the homeless and that he just
Yes,
chooses not to?
yes, it's capable. Yes, I agree with you on
And
that, but
then
on
and
the
then
other,
you agree that he chooses not to?
uh, he agrees not to choose because I have another belief. We are the ones that we are supposed to help each other as a society. That like
I
in another
don't,
country, no
Elizabeth,
homeless.
Elizabeth, this topic is not about humans. We don't have to talk about what humans are or aren't doing. We're talking about what God isn't or isn't doing. And as of right now, according to you, he is fully capable of making everybody full bellies, feeding everybody and giving everybody a home. And he chooses not to. And for whatever reason, you think that's a good thing. You think it's a good thing that he chooses not to feed the homeless or feed the hungry and house the homeless.
No,
Why do you think it's good to not feed the hungry and house the
no,
homeless?
that's a contradiction, and I haven't make an affirmative. Of course, how
Okay, the gardener is no longer right in front of the door, so I'm gonna move back to where I was a minute ago. But wow, that lady sucked. W to the sun, whoever sent that woman my way. I'm honestly really sorry that that's your mother. That sounds really, really difficult to be living that kind of life. Hunter, what's up? How old are
Hey, what's
you?
going on?
Oh, I just had like a really sad conversation with an old lady.
Yeah, she was struggling trying to explain things. Um,
Do
well,
you think God is
I
all
I
good?
think I kind of see what she's getting at, but I got to ask you a question so I can understand how to have this conversation. Do you have any religious background at all? Did you grow up that way? Did you read the Bible? Did you do any
Yeah,
of that?
I was a God believing Christian for the first 15 years of my life, and I have read the Bible.
Okay. And how old are you now?
26. I've been an
Okay.
atheist for 11 years.
Okay, cool. So you know about Genesis and you know about the stories of us getting kicked out of our Garden of Eden for basically not doing what God said and he kicked us
Yeah,
out. You understand that.
I know about how God set Adam and Eve up for sure.
Right. So you think it was God's fault that he set them up.
Yeah, it was 100% a setup.
Okay. Okay. So
I struggle to understand how someone could read that story and not think that it was a setup.
okay. So let me ask you this. Do you believe that as humans, do you think that God, you don't believe there's any God. So you don't believe that God is in us, God works through us in any way at all. There's no
Of course,
existence.
I don't believe that. Why
You
would
don't
I?
believe that. Okay. All right. And you're entitled to not believe that. But do you think that there are consequences to anything that we do in life and we have to pay for those consequences to things that
Yeah,
we do?
I believe in consequences.
Well, see, I think that's what God's discernment was, that he believed that there were consequences, that we had to learn these things in order to improve
God
ourselves.
doesn't believe in consequences. God believes in confess your sins to me and then the slate is wiped clean and you're forgiven for everything. That's not
Yeah,
consequences.
but you're going by like the canon Bible perspective of things. I don't know. I read the Bible too, and I don't exactly believe everything about the Bible. But
Then
I believe
why
more
do
in
you
the
believe in the
Ethiopian
Bible
Bible.
God?
But I just think you're missing kind of the whole point of things in life. I think we have to
I
make things
fully
have to happen.
disagree.
Things have to happen to us so that we can learn to overcome them and to fix them. Does that make sense? Like we
No.
have to be able to figure out things in our own way on this earth.
In a
And God
world where
gave us
God
that
exists,
gift.
in a world where God exists, why would we need that?
So you think that if we had a benevolent God or whatever, a benevolent universe, and everything just was given to us and everything was wonderful and we were
In a
always
world
happy
where
and
God
everybody had
exists, why
food
would
and
we need the stuff that you're
everything
talking
would be
about?
great, right? Right? If there were no hungry people on the earth and God just gave them,
Don't you think that would be great?
it would be great. But guess what? We can't accept it. That's why. And you can't accept it.
Yeah, I can. If God came
No.
down right now and said, I want to feed all the hungry people and house all the homeless, I would accept it.
Okay.
Why would you say that?
I would accept it too, right? Until you decided, I'm kind of sick of this regular stuff. I want to do something different. You could never be totally satisfied. You
What?
could never be satisfied.
Why are you making claims about me as a person? You
I'm
don't
just
know
saying
me.
as people, I'm just saying as
You
people in
don't
general.
know what
I'm not trying to
satisfies
claim
me.
you. I'm just saying people in general. We can't accept everything being perfect. I just don't think it's in our human instinct to be able to accept it.
Substantiate that in any way.
Okay. Okay, okay. This is going to throw you off a little bit, maybe, but okay. Have you seen the movie The Matrix?
Nope.
Okay. There's the sequel. I think you would have to know the movie and you would have to know the backstory of the movie.
Okay, well then
But in the
don't use
movie,
that
it's a
example because I've
science
never
fiction
seen it.
movie. I'm just going to
Don't
give you
use
an
that
example.
example because I've never seen it. I
Okay.
don't know what you're
Okay.
talking
Yeah.
about.
I don't want to go into that to try to explain it, but I just feel like if there was a perfect model, if the earth, God said there's going to be a perfect model, everybody's going to have everything, everybody's going to be given everything, you're never going to need or want for anything, we could not accept it
So
because we didn't
are you
accept it
saying that
before.
people who go to heaven can't accept it? Because isn't that what heaven is? It's like perfect and happy all the time. Is your claim that every person that's gone to heaven is bored as shit and they hate it there and they want it to be different?
No,
So you think
because
that the people who get to heaven like it?
once you understand and have a belief, and I don't really know
But
exactly what happens
you're
in heaven.
saying that we would be bored if everybody had food and everybody had a home, that we would be bored. So why is that not the same for heaven?
Because you're talking about our own human instincts and the division between that and our soul. Our soul wants to be happy and would accept it, but our soul, I think, is separate from our worldly brain, our worldly thoughts, our everyday ideas. Everybody is always out to, it's a dog eat dog world. You believe that. You obviously believe that because you're atheist. You believe it's a dog eat dog world.
In a God world, it shouldn't be a dog eat dog
Right.
world.
It shouldn't. It absolutely
So
shouldn't. But
why
you
is your
have to
God creating a
understand,
dog eat dog world, dude? This is
but
all
you have
within
to
your
understand. No,
this is
but if,
all within your God's capabilities to change. And also, it's bullshit. There's no way that you could claim that everybody having their needs met means we would be bored. There's no studies to back that up. And also, you don't even believe that because you believe there's a place where the good Christians get to go to where all of their needs are met and they're not bored. So you don't even believe what you're telling me right now, dude. Why are you saying all of this? Also, what a disgusting stance to have that if everybody had their needs met, we would all just be so miserable because we require, in order to have a fun life, we require this subsect of humanity to suffer all the time. What a nasty, disgusting view to have, dude. Like, that's disgusting. I'm so mad because he's telling me that he would be bored if everybody had a house and if everybody had food.
You would be. You're
No,
bored
I
right now.
wouldn't.
You're
No,
bored
I
right
wouldn't.
now. You
No,
couldn't
okay,
accept it.
I'm really fucking sick and tired of you telling me things about myself. So you can come off mute and you can apologize for continuing to project your bullshit onto me, or I'll just drop you.
I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah,
mean to.
stop
I'm not
telling me.
meaning you. I'm meaning
Stop
people.
telling. You literally do. You said you're bored right now talking about me. You don't know me, dude. You don't know who the fuck I am.
You don't know who I am.
Okay, well, I'm not the one saying that you're bored. You're the one who's making claims about me. So don't do that. You don't know me. I would not be bored if everybody's needs were met. I think the world would be a much happier and more fun place to be if everybody's needs were met.
Okay.
You
All
don't
right.
think
Cool.
that.
Okay.
That's a you problem. Don't
Okay.
put your weird shit onto me.
Okay. That's lovely.
Fucking weird.
Okay. Okay. Did you remember Genesis? We had everything. We had everything.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. Adam and Eve had everything.
Yeah, in Genesis, before they ate the fruit, did we have knowledge of good and evil?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So what did
Yes.
what did Adam and Eve gain when they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil? Did they gain the knowledge of good and evil?
All they learned was what they weren't supposed to do.
Did they gain, so before they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they had knowledge of good and evil?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Well, they realized
that's
it.
not biblical
They
at all.
realized
That's
their
not
shame.
biblical.
Yeah, they realized their shame as soon as they ate the apple. That's when they realized
So
they were
what did
naked and they put on clothes.
What did
Yes,
they
yes.
gain when they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil?
But you didn't
No.
have any.
What did they gain when they ate from the tree?
They learned what sin was.
So they didn't have everything. There was never a time when we had everything.
Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Okay.
If eating from the tree means that they gained something, then prior to it, they did not have everything.
We're getting somewhere. What did you just say? What did we learn?
You said that we had everything in the garden, and I'm proving to you that they didn't have everything in the garden.
They didn't have sin, did they?
Is sin something?
Yes. You just said it
They
was.
didn't have everything in the garden.
You just said it was. You just said it was.
Didn't have everything in the garden.
That was the only thing they didn't have.
Then, okay, well, then it would be incorrect to say that they had everything in the garden. Also, you're just fucking wrong. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil means that when you eat of the fruit, you will have the knowledge of good and evil. So prior to that, they
So you
actually
believe
didn't.
Satan.
They didn't have the knowledge
You
of good
believe
and evil.
Lucifer, but you don't believe in God.
I believe what the fucking Bible wrote.
Right, but
You don't. I read
that
the
was
words
Lucifer.
of the Bible. I read the words of the Bible and I go, oh shoot, this is what it says. This is what they meant. You read the words of the Bible and do a bunch of mental gymnastics to get to what you want it to say.
That's what the Bible's made for.
Mental gymnastics?
No, it's made for your own discernment.
The Bible literally says, do not lean on your own understanding. It is made specifically not made for your own discernment.
Sure it is.
No, it isn't. It literally says right there, do not lean on your own understanding. But you don't believe the Bible.
But you don't believe the Bible.
Neither do you.
I don't. Not every word of it, no.
No.
No, but do you really think that if you had a mansion and you had everything you wanted, you had every desire that you possibly could have, do you think that you would be truly happy?
If I had everything that I
If you had
needed?
everything. If you had all the money
Yeah.
you wanted, you had the guy you wanted, you had the car you wanted, you had all of that, do you really, really think that you would be happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The fuck? If I had
Why?
everything
Okay.
that I want,
Okay.
all of my needs met, what would
Okay.
make me unhappy?
Okay. Stick with me. People that do have these things, that have had everything, people like Will Smith, these other celebrities, you ask them
You
if they're
can't say
happy,
that those, you
but
cannot
ask
say
them,
that these, you cannot say that these people have everything.
Will Smith said it
You don't
himself.
fucking know Will Smith to know that he has everything.
This is what he said.
I don't give a shit what he said. You don't know, like, if I say right now that I have everything, do you believe me?
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Why do you just believe what he said? Like there is nobody on earth who has ever existed who has everything.
do you know
It
what he's
has never
missing? But
happened.
you know what they're
It
missing?
has never
What are
happened.
they missing?
I don't know him well enough to know what he's missing. I've never spoken to him before.
Okay. So
You,
you don't
Hunter,
believe?
you love pretending like you know everything about
I
everybody.
don't. I
Because
don't know everything.
well, you love pretending you do, because first you started telling me a bunch of things about myself that you were fucking wrong about and have no way of knowing. And now you're telling me a bunch of things about Will Smith, a man who you have never met before. Why do you feel so comfortable pretending like you know everything about everybody? It's
I don't.
fucking weird.
I don't.
Well, that's what you've been doing this whole fucking conversation, is pretending like you know things about me.
I don't know
And
anything about you, but I can
so
tell
why the
that you're
fuck do
not
you keep
content. I can
pretending?
tell.
Why? Look at you, you're doing it again.
Maybe I
You're
have.
doing it again. You keep telling me things about myself that you have no fucking way of knowing. I can tell that you're not content. I can tell that you're a really miserable, unhappy person. And I can tell that somebody really, really, really hurt you in the past. I can tell just from this conversation that you have no happiness. You are not a positive person, and that you have a lot of harbored ill will against probably the whole of humanity.
Okay, so you understand me then, but I can't understand you.
I'm
Okay.
showing you, I am actively showing you what, like, I don't mean anything that I'm saying right now. I am actively showing you how fucking stupid it sounds when someone pretends to know everything about you when they don't. Wouldn't you say that that was my what I just put onto you, my assessment of you? Wouldn't you say that that's unfair and untrue because I don't fucking know you? Wouldn't you say that?
I just made one assertion.
Wouldn't you say, you've made about 10 assertions, dude? Wouldn't you say that my assessment of you just now was unfair and untrue because I don't know you well enough to make these assessments? Wouldn't you say that?
Sure. Sure.
So why the fuck are you so comfortable doing it to other people? You can acknowledge that when I did it to you just now, that it was wrong and that it wasn't true, and people shouldn't be making assessments of someone that they don't fucking know. Why do you understand it when I do it to you, but you can't understand it when you're doing it to me and Will fucking Smith?
I'm not doing it to Will Smith. I'm just using
Yeah,
an
you did
example.
do it to Will Smith. You're pretending you know everything about Will fucking Smith, and you've told me, you've made a bunch of assessments about me that are wholly untrue. And then you just keep doing it. After I'm telling you that you're wrong and that you shouldn't be doing that, you just keep doing it.
Okay. So at what point in your life did you decide to stop believing in God?
I told you. How old was I when I decided to stop believing in God? Were you listening?
Maybe I didn't catch exactly when, like,
No,
your
I
story.
literally, you asked me at the beginning, you're like, just to get clear here, what is your religious
Yeah,
background?
you said you were raised as a
What was
Christian.
what was my answer?
Was it like 16 or 17 or something?
Sort of close.
I know it was close to that age. I mean, you're a young person. You're still really young. I'm 48, so I've seen a lot of
Oh my
things. I've been to a
God.
lot of shit.
You'd think at 48 years old you'd have a little bit more wherewithal. Oh my God. That conversation went on long enough. What the hell was that?
Arwen.
Gopali, what the hell was
Arwen?
that?
Arwen,
Arwen.
I'm sorry.
Hold on just for a second. Arwen, you ate that 48, 46-year-old, whatever he said he was. You ate him up. I know previous to working in the post office, you worked with kids. Teaching
Don't say that.
someone how they act, how they behave, how they treat others, the number of assumptions that he just said. I can tell you're not content. You think it's a dog eat dog world, projecting this bullshit onto you in order to give you salvation, and then asking you, when did you decide to stop following God? You fucking cooked him and left no crumbs when he is bragging about being a mature person or being 46 or whatever he said. Dear 46-year-old, how does it feel to have a 26-year-old young woman cook you and how you should behave and treat other people, how you should talk to people? That
I
was like
just
fucking chef's kiss.
how
Chef's fucking
how
kiss.
does one feel comfortable doing the things that he does? I don't get that.
Just the way you make people apologize for saying, you said these things about me, they're not true and you made them up, and you'll apologize or we won't move on. The way that you hold people's feet to the fire to behave better, it is like you are fucking teaching adults how to behave. It is, I don't know if you've been reading the comments, not just from me, from everyone. Chef's fucking kiss. You are a master chef. Is that a thing? You're the splinter of chefs.
Well, you can't say all of this. It's gonna go straight to my head. And I already have a big enough head as it is. But I appreciate it. I do honestly, I felt like in the conversation I felt like I was doing a good job. But
Just every level. I'm actually going to drop because one-on-one, you are just fucking serving them.
and I'm not
And
getting any restrictions either.
no, so like, listen, you don't need us. I'm going to drop and let you do your thing. After tolerating him just projecting and trying to emotionally manipulate you and minimize you by asserting things about you and all of the tactics that cults use in order to insert, but you would be happy with God. And you didn't bite any of it. Fucking perfection, human perfection. Keep kicking ass.
Oh shit, look at me. I look like a goddess now. Oh man, the bummer is we have two
Okay.
really great friendlies in the chat. Scientific Snitch and Bible Guy. I see you guys here. I will let friendlies up soon because I love having you guys cook. But at least let me have a conversation with one more person, and then I'll let whoever wants to come in, Snitch and Bible Guy, please stick around, and then you guys can come in and cook. But just one more person. Hello, one and only.
Only love, yeah. One and only love. Okay, hi Arwen, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. There was a rocky start to my lives today, but I feel, yeah, equality, you come back too in a minute. I'm doing all right. How old are you though?
Well, I'm 19 years old.
19 years old. And do you believe in the Bible God?
Yes, I do. The one and only true God.
Um, why
I
is
mean,
he such a
but
meanie?
before we get to that, why did you assume the Bible God? Why didn't you think I was following Allah or Buddha? Why
Oh,
immediately the
I
Bible
didn't
God?
assume that you believed in the Bible God. I was asking if you believed in the Bible God because this prompt
No,
is about the Bible God. I don't want to talk to people who aren't Christians. So I was just asking to make sure you fit into my criteria of people I want to talk to.
all right, okay, that's fair. Okay, so why is God such a meanie? Give me a reason why you think he's a meanie.
Have you ever read the Bible?
Plenty. Yes, I have.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say burning women alive is bad, mean behavior.
Okay, and you also mentioned about starving children. Why does he let them starve?
That's
or
not
why
about the
does it
Bible.
exist?
That wasn't a Bible conversation.
No, I just heard you talking about that,
Yeah, but
saying why
that
does the Bible
wasn't
exist?
about the Bible. I wasn't,
Okay,
that's
so
not in reference to the Bible.
okay, you mentioned this burning woman
Okay,
dodging
yeah.
heaven.
Burning women alive. He commands that daughters of priests who prostitute themselves need to be burned in the fire to death. I think that's messed up.
Give me a verse, please, where it says that, so I can
Okay,
confirm.
hold on. I thought you've read the Bible before.
I cannot remember all the verses on the top of my head, just like you.
I'm not remembering off the top of my head either. I'm getting the verse right. Hold up.
Ah,
Daughters of
fuck.
priests.
I definitely borrowed my mouse. Okay.
It's Leviticus 21:9. If a priest's daughter defiles herself by becoming a prostitute, she disgraces her father and she must be burned in the fire.
Wait, can you please repeat that? I didn't hear it.
Leviticus 21:9. If a priest's daughter defiles herself by becoming a prostitute, she disgraces her father, she must be burned in the fire. That's straight from God.
That is justice to punish people.
You think prostitutes should all be burned in the fire?
I mean,
You think
if
it's
it's just,
justice? You think it's justice to burn prostitutes alive?
if it's justified by God, then that's how it should be.
That's circular as hell. Did you not hear yourself? You said that's justice, and I said, what's justice about it? And you said it because God wants it. So that's just circular as fuck. Do you have any
Yeah,
actual reason why it's a good thing to burn prostitutes alive?
well, when you mean good thing, what are you justifying it with? What's your objective moral for that? To say that's evil?
Well, that's another topic. Let's talk about you're trying to pivot to something else. Why do you think it's good to burn women alive?
Well,
Just
it's
because
not.
God says so?
Yeah, it's not general about burning women. It's about punishing evil itself, not just burning women. Would you agree that a
But
unaliver
that's what
should
he's
be
saying. If
executed
a
for
woman
adultery?
prostitutes herself, if a priest's daughter prostitutes herself, she needs to be burned alive. And you think that's good. So why is it that you think it's good to burn prostitutes alive?
Because it's a capital punishment for crimes.
I understand, but why do you think that's good?
Because it's
If
punishing
I
evil. I
if I
think
walked out
punishing
of my
evil is a
house,
good
if I
thing.
walked out of my house right now, if I walked out of my house right now and I drove over to where the prostitutes go hang out, would I be doing a good thing if I burn them alive?
Well, you're not a persecutor, so no, you wouldn't be a
Well,
good thing.
God literally
You're not
says
part of the justice system.
it's God saying that if you find the daughter of a priest who prostitutes herself, she should be burned alive. So if I go and find the daughter of a priest who is prostituting herself and I burn her alive, am I doing a good thing?
Well, you're comparing to now and back then. Back then,
Wait,
yes, you
so do
would.
you think morals are not objective?
They are objective.
No, you don't. If you think morals change between time, like something that used to be good years ago and it's not good now, you don't believe in objective morals.
So when I'm saying this, because you actually compared two scenarios. One, when you said, you give an example, like let's say I go, outside and I see a bunch of prostitutes, should I burn them? And I'm saying no, because nowadays you're not, part of the justice
What
system.
do you
You're not a
mean
judge and enforcement system.
nowadays? God says
Like,
yes. So are you saying that God's laws were wrong? They were bad
no,
laws?
I'm appealing to your example. I'm just responding to what you just said.
So
Your example.
if I went and found a prostitute who is the daughter of a priest and I put lighter fluid all over her and I burn her alive, am I doing a good thing because that's what God says to do?
Well, like I said, if it's a
It's
crime,
yes or
it's a
no. It's
good.
yes or no question. God says if you find a prostitute who's the daughter of a priest, you need to burn her alive. If I go and do that, am I doing a good thing, yes or no?
It's a good thing to punish crime. Yes.
So it's a good thing if I went and say it out loud. If I went and burned a prostitute alive, I would be doing a good thing. Can you say that?
Morally, that will be a good thing by
Can you
punishing the
say
crime.
that? Repeat what I just said.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time?
If I go and find a prostitute and burn her alive, I would be doing a good thing. Say that.
Back then only, not now.
Why back then only?
Because back then, there wasn't a justice system. Every single person had to account for a crime and punish somebody.
So
Right now,
morals are
we got
morals are
judges.
not objective.
I'm just showing you.
Right.
I'm
So
just
you
showing
don't
that
think
right now
morals
we have
you don't
police.
think morals are objective.
I'm not. It's not. I'm not literally talking about morals. I'm talking about how a system is being justified. Right now, we have judges.
I'm
We have
asking you about
policemen.
fucking
Back
morals.
then,
I'm not asking you. I am not asking you about man's laws. I'm not asking you about governmental laws. I'm asking you
you
about
are.
God's Levitical law that he gave in the fucking Bible. So according to God's laws, if I go out and find a prostitute and burn her alive, according to God, am I doing a good thing?
I already answered that,
You said yes.
and I justified
So
why
we
I said
don't
yes.
need to
Can you
bring
please
in,
respond to that?
we don't need to bring in law, like human governmental laws that has nothing to do with God's laws.
So you're disregarding why I said yes.
I don't give a shit why you think it's good to burn women alive. I think you're evil.
It's not just women. Look, like I said, it's not just burning. It's not about burning women. Would
It
you
is
agree
about
that?
burning women.
Okay,
That's what
no problem.
Leviticus
Let me ask you this.
21:9 is about.
Okay,
Leviticus
okay, let me ask you this.
21:9 is about burning women.
All right, let me ask you this. Is it morally wrong to execute someone who, like a serial killer, for example?
I would say
Is
yes.
that
I'm not pro death penalty. I am against the
okay?
death
Why is it
penalty.
wrong? Objectively, why is it wrong? What
I
moral
don't
standard are you
believe in
using?
objective morals, and neither do you. So why are you asking me about objectively? You don't believe in objective morals.
As a Christian, I do. My objective
You
moral
do
is
not
that
believe in
whatsoever.
objective morals.
So it's not ultimately wrong to burn a prostitute, right?
I would say it's wrong. I don't say it's objectively wrong, and you don't think that either. You don't
So it's
believe
your
in
opinion.
objective morals.
So it's your opinion. That's why it's wrong, right? Because that's subjective.
Yeah, it is my stance that it is wrong to burn women alive. You disagree. You think it is right to burn women alive.
Based on my objective moral, because I'm
You
basing
don't
it on
have objective morals. You've already
yes,
admitted
no.
to me. You've already admitted to me that you don't have objective morals.
In what way? What did I
You
say?
you think that something could be good at one time and bad at another time. That
I
is
never said that.
evidence. Yes, you did. That is
I did not
evidence
say
of
that.
subjective morals. When I was asking you about burning women alive and if it was good, you
Uh-huh.
said, yes, that used to be good.
I
You
never said
said
it
back in
used
the
to be
day,
good.
that was good. Oh,
I could repeat my answer if you want.
so you think it's always good to burn women alive, prostitutes?
No, but I was when I said back then, I was just responding to the example you gave. Your
Yep.
example
And
of
if
yeah.
your morality changes from time to time, that is not objective morality. You do not
Okay,
believe in objective morality.
I'm not saying that. You give
Yeah,
an
you do.
example. You said, or an analogy. You said that if I right now went outside and found prostitutes on the side of the road, should I burn them? I said no, no, you shouldn't, because in this justice age, you got policemen. That's their
Ex-
job to do. Back
Okay,
then, hold on, just let me finish.
but if
I'm
I
fine.
understand what you're saying, but you're saying, let me make sure I'm getting this right. You think that
Okay.
if the police and the justice system weren't involved, you
Yeah.
think it would be a good thing to go around and burn prostitutes today?
If that's the capital punishment, yes, it is. Because you literally have death penalties in the US. I mean, if you live there, obviously.
Yeah, you think it's good to go around and burn women alive.
I think it's good to enforce justice upon any type of evil.
Yeah, and
I'm
the
not for
justice being
raping
enforced,
kids.
The justice in question that is being enforced is the burning of women to death. And you are good for that. You think that's good.
Yeah, objectively, I think that's good.
All right, well, I think you're a piece of shit.
Okay, I think you're a beautiful woman that needs God. I don't curse you at all.
Oh, well, I don't know why you would curse me. I'm not the one who has shitty morals like you.
But yours is based on your opinion, so you can't tell me that I'm wrong.
Yours is based off of a dusty old book that says it's good to burn women alive.
I can prove the Bible is true. That's just you just saying that.
No, you can't, but I guess go ahead and try.
Would you agree that if the Bible says that, let's say for example, TikTok would be banned in 2025, in 2026 at this time, and a man with a clown costume would be dancing ridiculously in the White House, and then it happens, would you agree that the Bible is real?
Maybe, I don't know. I still wouldn't make me think that magic is real.
You don't believe magic is real? So
Fuck
you don't
no.
believe in witchcraft and curses and so on?
Why would I believe in any of that stuff?
So you're telling me that if you see a guy disappearing in your naked eye, you wouldn't, I don't know, question reality?
Nobody has ever done that. The only person that's ever done something like that is like Chris Angel, professional magicians, and they don't actually do magic. It's like optical illusions and shit. People don't actually just disappear.
Okay. So if, like I said, if the Bible says something will happen in detail, you still wouldn't believe, even if the Bible says it will happen in detail. Not just coincidentally, but in detail. You wouldn't believe that that book might be telling the truth about something?
You do realize that books have made like predictions of the future before and they've been right, but that doesn't make those books magical.
Does it make it true?
It means that they accurately predicted something.
Yeah, but like, let's say that book itself predicts it. Would that book be true?
It means that they made an accurate prediction. I wouldn't
Would
say
it
that
be
it means
true?
the book is true. No, I would say it makes an accurate prediction.
But then how could it make an accurate prediction if it's false?
That one claim was accurate and true. The book in and of itself, no.
Okay, so some things are true in the Bible, some things are not true in the Bible. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say that there's at least a few things in the Bible that are true, but it doesn't make up for all of the untrue shit that's in the Bible.
Such as?
Magic,
Can you give me an example?
walking on water, donkeys talking, people living to 900 years old, water into wine, people coming back from the dead. These are things that don't happen.
How do you know they don't happen if you don't see them?
We have no evidence that any of this has ever happened.
Okay, so having no evidence means non-existence, right?
It means we have no reason to believe that it's true.
Okay, do you believe, okay, just asking you as a person, would you believe historically that Jesus actually lived? Not as, as Son of God, just as a person, a person named Jesus, do you believe that he actually lived back then?
I believe that there was probably more than one guy named Jesus who walked around. I don't think the biblical Jesus existed, though.
Do you believe that the person that one Jesus that walks around, do you believe that he was crucified in the Roman age?
I'm sure that there was probably more than one Jesus crucified walking around. Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. The Romans were crucifying a fuck ton of people. Like, that's not crazy to say, but I don't think the biblical Jesus existed.
But it's been okay. So just outside the Bible, let's just not use the Bible for this, right? Let's just go to history, all right? Historically, it's been recorded that a man named Jesus specifically was crucified under the empire Pontius Pilate, which is an historical person.
Prove
Do you
that.
believe that?
Prove that. Prove that Jesus, like, the biblical Jesus did any of that stuff. I'm willing to say that I'm sure Pontius Pilate crucified a fuck ton of dudes, and one of those dudes was probably named Jesus. More than one of them was probably named Jesus. I'm fine with that.
Well,
I just don't
historically,
think that. I just don't think it was the Bible Jesus,
I
because
understand. I
Because the
understand where you're
Bible
coming from.
Jesus didn't exist. He's not a real guy. We have no reason to think he was real.
I understand where you're coming from, but when you look at even his, you don't have to go to random dudes that said, "Oh, Jesus existed." When you literally go to the Roman location and where the evidence literally come from, there's only a singular person named Jesus that was crucified, not a bunch of them.
All right, fine. There was one Jesus got crucified. Still not the
Uh-huh.
Jesus that's described in the Bible.
I understand. So here's the thing. If we get this historical Jesus, right, saying he was crucified in a very specific way, as the Bible said, would you believe in the Bible?
No.
What? But you just, but, but the Bible said it is. Sorry, I just tweaked out for a second there.
Why would that make me believe the Bible is true? I've already conceded to you that there was a Jesus who walked around in those times who got crucified. Why wouldn't, like, no, I still don't think it's Jesus Christ. That guy didn't exist.
Okay. So in the Old Testament, it predicts a man named Jesus, that's his name in the Old Testament, before he was born, that he would be crucified. Wouldn't that make it true because it predicts something that before it even happens,
Yeah.
historically, that's
Show the
true?
verse that says a guy named, in the Old Testament, show the verse that says a guy named Jesus is going to get crucified.
Well, the Messiah's name is
Where
Jesus
in the
when you
Old
go.
Testament does it say that a guy named Jesus is going to be crucified? Chapter and verse, please.
Yeah, so when you go to Isaiah chapter 49, right? I just gotta find the verse specifically, but I'll show you right now. In Isaiah 49, it says that salvation will come to the children of Israel and the Gentiles, as you and I. And conveniently, the word salvation in the Hebrew means Yeshua, and that's literally Jesus' name as in Yeshua. He's literally named salvation, or
So,
God says. So that's Jesus there in
no.
the Old Testament.
So, where can I read it? What, Isaiah 49 verse what? Where it says Jesus is coming and gonna die? Isaiah 49 what?
Well, Isaiah 49 is where it mentions his name,
49
Yeshua.
verse what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm literally getting it right now. I don't really remember a specific verse.
Because I know for a fact that you're bullshitting. It doesn't say that.
By the way, it doesn't
I
say
know you don't.
Yeshua. It doesn't say Yeshua in the Hebrew. It says Yeshua, which is spelled almost like Yeshua, but it has a hey at the end of the word. They're not the
Hold
same.
on,
What is?
hold on. If we're bringing Bible guy up, we got to bring a couple other people up too.
Yeah. Isaiah
Just the,
49 is not about Jesus of Nazareth, and it doesn't say Yeshua. It says Yeshua, which is like the name Yeshua, but it has a hey at the end.
What does Yeshua mean?
Salvation.
What does Jesus mean?
Yeshua is short for Yehoshua, which means Yahweh is salvation.
It's Isaiah 49 verse 6.
Isaiah 49 is about the
I don't know how
prophet. Isaiah 49 is about the prophet who's writing this section of the book of Isaiah. That's why the person uses first-person pronouns in the text. Listen to me, O coastlands. Pay attention, you peoples from afar. The Lord called me before I was born. When an author uses first-person pronouns, they were referring to themselves.
So can we go back to the verse again, I guess, gave you?
Which verse in Isaiah 49?
Verse 6.
Yeah, he says, it is too light a thing that you... So, who's speaking here?
Wait.
I'm
The
reading verse
question
6.
was, hold on.
Yes,
The question
yes,
was, is Jesus in the Old Testament?
Verse 6 begins
I'm
with
about
it
to show
saying,
you.
he says, who's the he here? We gotta play the pronoun game here. Who's the he?
In verse 6?
Yeah, it says he says, and then it goes on to quote somebody. Who's the he?
That is not verse 6. Verse 6
Yeah,
starts
verse
with
6
I will
says,
also
and I
make
quote,
you.
he says, it is too light a thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the survivors of Israel. So who is being quoted here, first and foremost?
Well, God is speaking here.
Okay, God is speaking. So God says, "It is too light a thing that
That's my
you
point.
should be my servant." So the question is, who is the you here? Throughout the
That's
rest
The
of,
Messiah.
well, no, it's not the Messiah. Throughout the first 5 verses, it tells you who it's speaking about. Verse 3 says, "And he, God, said to me." What does the word "me" mean?
Hold on, let me just go to Bible Hub so I can follow you. Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, okay, so what does the word "me" refer to when we use the word "me"? What does that mean? If I say the word "me," who am I referring to?
Yourself.
Okay, when the prophet who's writing Isaiah 49 says "me," who is the prophet referring to?
That would be referring to Israel.
No, he's referring to himself.
That would be Israel.
Well, yes, I mean, the prophet is a member of the nation of Israel. So when the prophet says, "And he, God, said to me," that means that God is speaking to the prophet. So when we get to verse 6, and God says, "It is too light a thing that you should be my servant," the you there is not referring to the Messiah, it's referring to the prophet who is writing this section of Isaiah. This is not about the Messiah.
All right, let me ask you this. So when God says in verse 6, I will make you a light for the Gentiles,
Mhm.
that my salvation may reach to the ends of the earth.
Yeah.
This happens.
That's also the prophet, because what we learn in the Hebrew Bible is that the purpose of the people of Israel is that they are to be, as it says in Exodus 19, verse 6, a kingdom, a priest, and a holy nation. It is the job of the people of Israel, including the prophet who's writing this work, to be a light to the nations, so that God's salvation may come to the ends of the earth.
Oh, so it's not just talking about Isaiah, it's talking about the whole of Israel, right?
Well, here it's speaking specifically of the prophet, who, by the way, this section of Isaiah isn't written by Isaiah, but that's another thing altogether. It's referring to the prophet as a representative of his people, but it's not about Jesus in the future. This is God speaking to the author of this section of Isaiah.
Good. So now just because you can just acknowledge, just because he says me, it doesn't only refer to a singular person,
No,
but
it
we can
does.
agree referring to
No.
the whole of Israel. That's
And-
literally what you just.
Well, no. God is speaking to a singular individual right now, the prophet.
Now my access again. When God says, I will make you a light for the
Singular, you.
Gentiles, just about Isaiah.
It's about the prophet.
So can you
What's
show me in
What's
the
the job
Bible?
of okay, yes or no? Is the prophet in question a Jewish person?
Yes, he's a Jewish person.
Is it the job of the Jewish people to be a light to the nations?
No.
Incorrect. Exodus 19 verse 6 says, "But you, the people of Israel, shall be for me a priestly kingdom and a holy nation." What is the job of a priest?
A priest. A
What was
priest
that?
a priest mostly intercedes for people.
They do what for the people?
They intercede for the people.
Ah,
That's
okay. So if the nation of Israel
yeah.
intercede, who are the people of Israel supposed to be interceding for?
Read the verse again.
You shall be for me a priestly kingdom and a holy nation.
The holy what?
A holy nation.
So does it say nations or nation?
Nation, singular.
Okay, so
So if the nation of Israel is the priestly kingdom and a holy nation, they're a kingdom of priests, who are they interceding for?
with the kingdom of Israel.
No, the kingdom of Israel does not intercede for the kingdom of Israel. Try again. A priest does not intercede for himself. A priest intercedes for the people. So if the kingdom of Israel is a kingdom of priests, who are they interceding for?
Watch this. In the new heaven and earth, are unsaved people going to be in the kingdom?
Yeah.
Can you show me a Bible verse where someone who's not saved are going to be in the kingdom?
Yeah, the book of Zechariah chapter 14 tells us explicitly that there are people who do not go up to Jerusalem for the Feast of Sukkot, and as a result, they will not receive rain. They are not believing, they are not obedient to God. But this is a pivot. What is if the people of Israel are a kingdom of priests, who are they interceding for?
Listen, tell me any Bible verse, anywhere in the Old or New Testament.
This is not an answer to my question. If the people
Ah,
of Israel are a
George
kingdom of priests, who are they interceding for?
already answered that. I look, watch this. I'm
Here,
gonna
I'll
answer
help you
this.
out here. I'll help you out. On the Feast of Sukkot, the children of Israel offer up 70 bulls as a sacrifice. Do you know why they do that?
Can I can I answer the question again and ask my question?
No. Why do the
No.
children of Israel offer up 70 bulls as a sacrifice? What is the number 70 representative of?
Listen, just no. We're not doing it. I promise you. Listen to this. I promise you. I'll answer your question.
What does the number 70 represent in the Hebrew Bible?
Promise you.
What was that?
I promise you this, right?
No,
If you answer,
I don't care about your promises. I only care about your answer. What does the number 70 represent in the Hebrew Bible?
I'm not gonna let you run from this, bro. That's not gonna happen.
Oh, I'm not going to let you run from this. So,
who's the
what
only?
does the number 70 represent
I'm gonna
in the
answer.
Hebrew Bible?
Show me anywhere in the Bible
Where does
answer.
the number... nope. You're not... I'm muting you now. You're going to answer my question, and I'm not going to let you not answer my question. What does the number 70 represent in the Hebrew Bible?
I'm not,
I didn't realize.
Drop my phone. 1 second. I cannot let you escape from this. What does the number 70 represent?
are you gonna?
I'm sorry, are you refusing to answer my question?
What does that have anything to do with what we're talking about?
It is. It does have to do with what we're talking about, big boy. So answer the question.
That's why I asked you a question. You dodged it by asking
No,
me a question.
I'm not dodging the question. I'm trying to teach you, but you're refusing to engage. Here, I'll just answer the question since you refuse to do so. The reason why the children of Israel offer 70 bulls on the Feast of Sukkot is that they're supposed to be making intercession for the nations. They are the light to the nations. They are the kingdom of priests of the nations. That is why it refers to the author of Deutero-Isaiah as a kingdom of priests, as a light to the nations, because he's a member of the kingdom of priests.
So are you gonna ask me a question now or not?
Yeah, this is not about Jesus.
Are you gonna ask me?
You keep cutting out.
Are you gonna answer the question or not, bro?
I don't even remember your question because you refuse to answer. I don't answer questions when people don't answer my questions.
So okay, between you and me, who asked the question first? Please be honest.
You keep cutting out. You gotta stop doing that.
Between you and me, who asked a question first? Please be honest.
I did.
Oh.
So why should I think Isaiah 49 is about Jesus? This doesn't predict Jesus.
I'm gonna do this again. Can you show me anywhere in the Bible where people that are not saved are in the kingdom of God? Where?
Zechariah 14. Zechariah 4. I already answered that. Zechariah 14.
Chapter what again?
Chapter 14.
What verse?
Also, the word saved there is kind of presupposing a whole sort of eschatology and soteriology that doesn't belong to the Hebrew Bible.
Can you give me a verse, please?
Zechariah 14, it talks about the children, how every year the Gentiles will go up to Jerusalem to participate in the festival of Sukkot, but those who do not receive rain upon their land.
Number 14, verse what, bro? So I can read myself.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me look at yeah, verses 16 through 19. Then all who survive the nations that have come against Jerusalem shall go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, and to keep the festival of booths. If any of the families of the earth do not go up to Jerusalem to worship the King, in other words, they're not worshiping God, the Lord of hosts will not bring rain upon them. So non-believers in the last day. Because, by the way, the reason why you asked that question about will they be saved is because you are projecting your New Testament soteriology on
That's
the
cool.
Old Testament, and they don't have the concepts of salvation the same way you do.
That's cool. That's cool. So in this period, when is this taking place?
In the last days.
Last days. Can you show me anywhere in this context where it's in the last days?
Yeah, every time you see the phrase "see the days are coming," that's an indication that it's talking about the last days. I mean, when else do you know when all people come to worship God at Jerusalem, if not the
Honestly,
last days?
when it's all, it's not all people. You should know that biblically.
It did say all people. Maybe here. Bring your listening ears. As Arwen likes to say, I need you to unplug your ears, bring your listening ears. Then all who survive of the nations that have come against Jerusalem shall go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord of hosts. If any of the families of the earth do not go up to Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts will not bring rain upon them. The earth. I know, reading's hard.
Now I'm gonna give you another example, and I'm gonna say this again. When it says all, biblically, it doesn't literally mean every single person. Just an example of this.
Well, words don't mean words, everyone. You heard it here first. Classic Christian way of getting out of the verse. If you don't like what the Bible says, just say that words don't mean words. Sorry, buddy, not going to work here. The verse is very specific. All the families of the earth shall go up to Jerusalem, and if any of them don't, they don't receive rain. When has that ever happened in history? When have the nations gone up to Jerusalem for the Feast of Booths, and anyone who didn't get rain? When did that happen in history? Tell me.
I'm muted, so just mute that. I would really appreciate that.
I would really appreciate if you could show me how Isaiah 49 has anything to do with Jesus.
That's what we've spoken about this whole time. I don't know where you're coming from.
I know you're having a hard time tracking the conversation. But I think we've demonstrated quite thoroughly to the audience that you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to give the reins back over to the host. I'm going to mute up.
That was fun. Thank you for coming and cooking him on prophecies, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know jack shit about the prophecies.
Real quick, I'm going to chill for...
Hey, Snitch. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Want me to bring up one of the guests in the guest box?
Yeah, go ahead and bring somebody else up. We got a few.
Real quick, everyone, I'm going to shill for Arwen real quick. Everyone needs to go check out the Arwen Show on YouTube. We're currently sitting at 689 subscribers. We're almost to 700. We're trying to get to 1,000. And guess what, guys? If you love the content that Arwen puts out, we got tons of episodes coming out periodically for the rest of the month, every other day. You'll never have a week where you don't get at least a couple episodes of Arwen Show. So make sure you do that.
Yeah, follow me, guys. I yearn for the followers. But Ronnie's here now. Are you here, Ronnie?
Yeah.
How old are you?
22.
Sweet. And we think the Bible God is a big meanie.
So I'm a follower of Jesus, and I was just scrolling down TikTok and listening into what some of you guys are saying, but the thing is like, so you just don't believe that Jesus was an actual person, the biblical Jesus that actually lived, but that's just as like in the Bible when he's talking to Nicodemus, you don't know where the wind comes from, but you can feel it. You don't even know that George Washington.
Wait, but we do know where the wind comes from. Like, we know what causes wind to happen.
What?
You don't think that we know what causes, like, weather changes?
Yeah, it's atmospheric pressure, and as the air warms up and expands,
Yes,
it rises, creating pockets of lower pressure, resulting in cooler, denser air sinks, as well as basically, like, have you ever like had?
I was giving a reference. I wasn't being literal. I was giving
Well,
a
then
reference.
your reference is
It was
stupid.
a silly reference because we do know what causes the wind or whatever you said.
That's fine. I was just giving a reference, but I'm saying
Well, it
is
was a
like
bad
It was
one.
a crappy reference.
Yeah, bad
we
reference.
have over. But the thing is, we have over 5,800 manuscripts that Jesus Christ was a real man that really walked the earth, that really hung on the cross, and nobody. We have multiple. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Shroud of Turin, but there's been
Oh, that's
over
Oh,
bullshit.
100.
so
Like,
you're a
you brought
Ron
up the
Wyatt
like,
fan, I see.
just saying, you
No,
brought up
I.
like the worst example because the Shroud of Turin has been debunked by multiple scientific pieces of research. If you'd like me to pull up one of them, it demonstrates that it's actually from across the entire continent and has been stitched together over decades that Jesus never existed, not to mention the blood on the actual specimen. It like would not have come from back then, namely because a blood drop would not survive that many years. So
The blood type. Well, the thing is, I'm not an arguer, and I'm not going to argue. Just as Paul says in the book, in the Bible, it says,
Then why did you come up here and
it
try to
says,
talk to
I'm not
us
arguing. I'm giving
when
you.
you
I'm just.
knew we're not arguing. This is a debate live. We have people come up here. We have two separate opinions about things and we debate it. If that's not something you're into, you have no business being on this live. Are you into it or should you drop down? I invited you to come off mute. Either you're into it and you're willing to have a discussion about our different opinions,
Yeah, I'd
or you
like
can
to.
just
But
go.
the only reason is that like nobody can ever disprove my opinion because I
Yeah,
know.
because you got your head stuck in the sand and you don't give a shit about what other people have to say or the facts. I totally concede that nobody will change your mind. Yippee-ki-yay, Bubby.
and if you like, so I'm not sure if he decided to drop down, but if you look at the review, PMID 27001889, and I quote, indeed consistent with DNA contamination on the Shroud of Turin, sequences from multiple subjects of different ethnic origins have been recently detected on the human mitochondrial genome extracted from dust particles of the linen. Innovative concepts are likely to come up with using modern research to evaluate the bloodstains of the Shroud of Turin. And so, unfortunately, in addition to other evidence, and this is not a part of the quote, but there is evidence to suggest that there's contamination between male and female DNA being documented. So we don't even know if the blood on the Shroud of Turin is from the from a guy or a girl, bro.
Everyone, don't you worry. I will be including that little document in the description of the YouTube video when it comes out.
What a guy. All right, we have Bubby here, and they definitely seem like they're going to be a great interlocutor. Did I say it right? Bubby.
No, that was a blunder. But yeah, just to be clear, when you say like, why is God such a meanie? That's going to imply like a moral judgment, right? That it is the case that God is a meanie, right? So just
Are
give
you
the
playing
argument that
video
established.
games or something?
Excuse me, stop interrupting me.
Are you playing video games or something? I can hear it. Almost sounds like you're like fapping your shit. Can you like whatever the fuck you're doing? Can you stop?
Can you stop chewing on rocks?
Could you also not
give the argument?
Somebody else, because low key, this guy just seems like a Bill bro.
Yeah. I can definitely tell from the jump that wasn't going to go very well. KJ.
Hello,
Hi. How old are you?
how are you? I'm fine.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay. And we think the Bible God is a big meanie. What's your thoughts on that?
I believe he is not. Why do you believe he is?
I've read the
Whatever you
Bible.
say.
I've read the Bible and he
What?
does a lot of fucked up stuff in there.
But he created everything, so he has the right to destroy things
Sure.
that he
Sure.
deems to be evil
If he
in his
created
eyes.
everything, then he definitely has the right to destroy it, but that doesn't make it good.
Yeah, but
Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean that it's a good thing, right?
right,
Man,
he already
man,
knows. He
three
already knows.
restrictions.
I'm saying like God already knows if something is bad or is not bad. Like he already knows the future of somebody. So if he does something, it's because he already knows the result of him
So
not
like
destroying
his
that
ways
person.
are higher, you just turning your brain off and
It's
going
more like
as
he's trying to do.
if God's doing a thing, it has to be good. There is no way that God could do a bad thing. That's your stance?
Yeah, yeah, that's my stance.
Yeah,
Like he,
that's a really thought terminating stance to take.
how?
It's you don't have to do any critical thought. You just are a robot now who follows whatever God does.
Not really.
You might as well have no consciousness at all. What is the value of your consciousness or you being a moral agent if all you're just going to do is say, "Oh, I'm just going to follow whatever God does. Whatever God does is good."
Actually, whenever he does something, he explains the reason why he does it because he does it to
I
protect
don't I
the
don't give a
good
shit what his
people.
reasons are. Like Hitler had reasons to do what he did. Does that mean that Hitler was doing a good thing because he had reasons?
I would say you cannot compare those two things because
But you
Hitler was a
said that he
human being
explains his
who made
reasons.
mistakes.
So does explaining your reasons for doing something automatically make the thing good?
If it's a reasonable explanation, then yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
acceptable.
having reasons does not inherently make something good, right?
I believe it does.
Okay, so then you think that
Coming from God.
since Hitler had reasons to do what he did, then his genocide was good because he had reasons for it, right?
No, I believe if it's coming from God, I believe God is perfect. So
Do you think
I
that
believe Hitler is
having
not perfect.
reasons, do you think that if you share your reasons for why you do a thing, that automatically makes the thing good?
No.
Okay. Glad we could get to that.
Yeah,
So
real
I
good.
think the reasons that God does his shitty things are bad reasons.
I believe it's
Like
for good reason.
there is no good reason to slaughter babies. What do you think a good reason is to slaughter babies?
So a good reason will be if that baby grows up and becomes causes more evil, like destroying people, or like the reason like he was sending the Israelites to destroy nations and kill babies would be if those children grew up, if those nations used to sacrifice babies, right, and do very detestable things. So if that child grow up right there, that child would end up causing more harm and destroying
So
even more
you're
children, like
saying that
sacrificing children.
the babies didn't have free will. They weren't able to choose to do good. They only were able to do bad.
You
As
know,
they grew
God can
up,
see the
they
future
wouldn't
of
have
the
had the
child.
free will to choose.
Like God already saw their future and he knew if they are going to be evil or good. So to save them from being evil or being or save the other people from being harmed by that particular person when they grow up, he had to take them out. Or the
So
children like
your
teaching
position
other
is
the
that
Israelites was to
every baby that God genocides, God knows that they are going to be bad people, and that's why he genocides them.
yeah, yeah.
So then why did like Hitler live? If God is fine with genociding babies who he knows are going to grow up and be bad, why did he
Because
let
he
Hitler live?
it was more of the sin that the children were like that nation was committing.
But you're saying that
He didn't just destroy
you're saying
everybody.
that it's good that God genocided the babies because he knew that they were going to grow up to be bad people. So why didn't he do that with all the other babies who eventually grew up to be bad people?
It was
And
more about, let me
better
explain.
yet, why didn't he just choose not to make them? Because he knows everything about them before they're even in their mom's womb, you know? So why did he make those bad people just so he can have other people slaughter them? Like that was
Because
the whole purpose of the Amalekite baby's existence was so that they could get slaughtered by the Israelites. Don't you think it would
no,
have been better if he just didn't make them at all?
like God gave them a chance. He gave them.
No,
Let me say
he
the
didn't
verse.
give them a chance. You're saying that
He
he
gave.
read their future and he knew that they were going to be evil. So don't you think the better thing that God could have done was to just not create them at all?
I like KJ. You are aware that in the Bible, God has the ability to close the wombs of women, like in Genesis 20:18, that He closed all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah. He could have just made it to where all the women were infertile, so that they wouldn't have had any babies. So by the time the Israelites showed up, there's no babies to slaughter.
So, like the child doesn't know it's suffering, like it's just a baby. They don't know, you know. And God had
You don't
given
think
them
babies can feel you don't
400
think
years
babies can feel
to
pain?
change.
You don't think
They can
babies can feel pain?
they can feel pain, but
So
even
it knows it's
bugs.
suffering, it's feeling the pain.
Okay, let
Your
me put it
God,
like this.
you're saying that your God, your all good God, created human beings that he knew would be terrible and have no goodness in them. They would always choose to be terrible. And their whole purpose of existence was so that they can get slaughtered by other people. What
So
part of that
let
is
me
good?
let me say something, right? So if it's about pain, all creatures can feel pain. You step on bugs every day. You don't know if you leave it in pain or if you leave it suffering on the ground. So if it's about pain, everything experiences pain, right? So
Well, you just said that you said babies don't know that they're suffering, and then you took that back. But
like they
I just
wouldn't
don't
judge it
understand
like
what
we
part of
judge it,
this you
you
think
know?
is good. I'm still lost. There's no part in this that is good. The more you explain it, the worse it sounds, honestly.
So you're saying like there was no reason to create them if they are going to be evil.
No, that's not what I said. Your
What are you saying?
stance is that God created them. He knew everything about them before they were even knit together in their mother's womb. And then their entire purpose was to be, they were evil. He knew that they were evil. He creates them anyway. And their entire purpose is to be slaughtered by other people. Like, what is the
I
good in
believe
that?
I believe that they had a chance to change. Everybody has a
But you're
chance to
saying,
change.
you said that they knew, that God knew for a fact that they wouldn't. So it doesn't matter if
After
they
the
had a
level
chance. He
after
created them. He created them knowing that they would have a chance to be good, but also knowing for a fact that they would choose evil every single time. Wouldn't it
not
have been
really.
better if he just didn't create them?
They still had a chance to change.
But you said that he knew for a fact that they wouldn't. So their chance doesn't matter because God knows that they're not going to change, right?
He can choose to know something or not know something, you know?
Are
So
you
I believe he
understanding what
knew.
I'm saying? It doesn't
I
seem like you're
understand.
tracking what I'm saying.
I'm tracking. I'm just
Well, you're
saying,
not
okay.
answering what I'm saying. You're not responding to me. You're saying something different.
Okay, ask a question, then I answer directly.
No,
If
you
you know.
didn't. I'm saying your position is that God knows everything about everybody before he creates them. So then the Amalekite babies,
Actually,
he knew for a
actually,
fact
okay.
that they would be evil and that they would always choose evil. And he brings them into the world anyway so that other human beings can slaughter the Amalekite babies. Wouldn't it have been better to just not create them at all?
Yeah, let me clarify that God doesn't choose to know everything. He can choose not to know some things.
So then he's
Because the
not all
Bible says,
knowing. Then he doesn't know everything.
he can choose not to know some things
All right.
that like by
If you
choice.
choose not to know everything, then by definition you are not all knowing. You are not.
That is in the respect of the will of the human being. Like God says, let me give an example. God says that he will forget the sins that we committed. So he is purposely forgetting, right? The Bible says that,
Yeah.
like in the books
So
in the
you
book of
and the
Enoch.
Bible agree that God is not all knowing. He doesn't know everything.
Yeah, but it's by his choice. It's by his power.
That's
He chooses
fine.
to
It
do
can
that.
be by his
That
choice,
that
regardless of
that
if
is
it's
in the
his
respect. That
regardless
is
of if it's his choice or not, he still is not all knowing. Right?
that's on the respect of a human being. He values us so much.
So
He came and died for
God
our sins.
chooses not to be all knowing, so he's not all knowing, right?
In respect for human beings, yeah.
In respect to anything, he is not all knowing.
In
If he doesn't
respect to
know
the
all things, then he's not all knowing, right?
it's like he chooses to respect the boundaries of human beings. He varies
That's
us just
fine.
like
That's
himself.
fine. I'm not saying anything about that. The only thing I'm trying to get you to admit is that he's not all knowing, because you just said that he chooses not to know
I
things.
just accepted
So
that and said
by
it's
definition,
by
he's
his
not all
power and by
knowing.
his choice. Yeah, I
So
can agree to that because he chooses
cool.
not to remember our sins. He chooses to forget our sins. So that means he
So
forgets. He chooses not.
why can't you just say my God isn't all knowing? Just say that.
I can say that. I don't
Say
have a
it
problem
then.
with saying that.
Do it.
My God is, let me say, like, my God is not all knowing because he chooses to forget my sins. So if he forgets my sin, then he will not know them, right?
Well, he's
But
also
it's
not all
by his
knowing
power and
because
by
he
his choice.
chooses. You also said he chooses not to know people's will, right?
I did not
Don't,
say he chooses
don't
not to
add
know
that,
the will
KJ.
of the people. I
Don't add
just
that
say,
extra bit. Don't add that extra bit. Just say what
I
Arwen told you
didn't
to
say
say.
that.
Yeah, you
I didn't
did.
say
You
it.
you added the extra bit. Just say my God's not all knowing. Like
Yeah,
my God
it's
does
the
not
same
know
thing. I
everything.
have to explain a little bit for the person who
I don't
doesn't know
need you to
where.
explain anything. I actually don't want you to explain anything. Just say that your God's not all knowing.
Yeah, because he chooses to forget my sins out of love and
He
out of
also chooses to not
respect
know
for my
other things,
previous.
right? It's not just your sins that he chooses to forget. There's other things that he doesn't know too, right?
Yeah, he chooses not to know some things out of the respect for human beings, out of his love for human beings. That for
That's
me, that's a good thing.
fine. That's
That's
fine.
actually a good thing.
That he just isn't all knowing, which is fine. But just don't pretend like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
all knowing, because he's not.
He chooses not to know everything. Yeah, I accept that
Fine.
because the Bible says that.
I mean, it also says that he knows everything,
I am
doesn't it?
I am curious how KJ is able to tell the difference between a God who's all knowing but chooses not to know everything versus a God who just doesn't know everything and just lies to him and tells him that he's all knowing.
I can say that the way I understand it is that God is a Trinity, right? Like the way Jesus was in this world, he said he doesn't know the day of the hour that he will come back, right? But God the Father knows, but Jesus didn't know. So it depends on who you are talking about. I might
Right.
be talking about Jesus,
So back to the topic, don't you think it
as
would
it
have been
says God
better
the
for
Father chooses
God
to
to just
reveal
not,
whatever he wants
don't
to
you think it would have been better for God to just not create the Amalekite babies? Wouldn't that have been a better thing for him to do? Instead of
um,
creating them knowing that they were going to be evil forever and then have other people slaughter them?
so if he chose not to know their future, it was by
But
hopes that they will do the
you
right thing.
said that he did know. You said multiple times on this live that he knew for a fact, because he saw their
Okay,
future and he
I
knew
take
for a
that back.
fact that they would be evil.
I take that back. He didn't know because he was expecting, like he was giving
Well,
them a
then
chance
why
to
the
change.
fuck would you say that he did know? It seems like you are just flip-flopping at everything that comes out of your mouth. You're just winging it. You have no idea what God does know or doesn't know. It's just whatever fits your narrative in that very moment. because you have flip-flopped so many times. What do you know about your God? What do you know? Like, can you tell us anything about your God that you know for sure? Because it
Yeah,
seems
that
like
he's a
everything that
loving
you're
God.
saying, you just go back and switch it up.
No, really, I think you are not understanding me.
No, I'm
I'm just,
understanding you
what I know
clearly.
about my God is that he's a
You
loving God.
contradict yourself every time you open your mouth. You are saying another contradiction. So it really just seems like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Actually, I posed the question first and asked you, why do you believe that God is a mini, as you say,
That has nothing
but
to do with
you're
what
not
I'm saying
addressing
right
that.
now. We were talking about the Amalekite babies, and you said that they was good that they were slaughtered because God knew for a fact that they would be evil forever. And now you're saying he didn't know that. So let's go back. If God didn't
Let
know
me
for a
explain
fact,
from that
if
point,
God
so
didn't
that
know for a fact why that the your current position is that God did not know that the Amalekites would be evil forever because he chose not to know. So since he didn't know and they very well could have chosen to be good, why do you think it's good that he commanded the slaughter of the Amalekite babies?
okay, let me explain that. So I'm actually even gonna use a Bible verse to add to what I'm gonna say.
I just want you to tell me why it was good that God commanded the slaughter of Amalekite babies. That's what I want to know. Because
Okay,
the answer that you
let me
gave me
explain.
before doesn't make any sense now because you've contradicted it.
So as I said, God chose not to know to a particular point, but to because he gave the Amalekites 400 years, according to Genesis 15, when he was giving Abraham a promise that he will give him the land, he will give the Israelites that land where the Amalekites were living, right? So he gave them 400 years, right? So in these 400 years, it was like he was giving them a chance to change. So that means he had chosen not to know the outcome, right? So he was expecting for them either to change or not to change, right? So after 400 years, it became clear to him at this level of sin that they are currently having, they are not able to change at the level of the sins that they were now on.
So your claim is that God did not know for sure that the Amalekite babies would be evil, but he did know for sure that they would be evil?
After the
That's what you're
400
saying?
year,
So
are you not like,
when God was commanding the slaughter of the Amalekite babies, did he know for sure that they would be evil forever?
yeah,
Do you realize that just
I
3
said
minutes
after
ago you
400
said the
years,
exact opposite of
he had
that?
given
Do
them,
you realize that just a couple fucking minutes ago you said that he chose not to know their future? Like,
I
do you
have
not hear
explained why.
yourself? Do you
I
not
have
hear
explained
yourself?
why.
Your explanations just make it worse. You just continue to contradict yourself. You started this conversation saying it was good that God slaughtered them because he knew for a fact that they would be evil. And then 15 minutes ago, you said that he chooses not to know their future. And now you're saying again, he knew for a fact that they would be evil. Do you not hear yourself?
KJ's got
You
like
have no idea what you're talking about. You just change your opinion about what God does literally in the moment. Whatever fits your narrative in this very moment is what's true about God. You have no
I went,
fucking idea anything about God.
I went with the scriptures on this and I told you, like, God gave them 400 years and he made a promise to Abraham. So at that 400 years,
You, like, honestly, no, dude, at this point, shut up. You have given me every answer possible. There is no way for me to know what you actually believe because you
yeah,
keep
that's actually the truth.
contradicting yourself. Like, was that just me or did
no.
everybody else hear what was happening too?
He's got a little angel and a little devil on his
I
shoulder,
heard it too.
and they keep telling
That
him
was,
contradictory things.
that was, what was that?
Now you.
Oh boy, Hatim.
Hatim, I'm upset. Hatim, I'm upset. Hatim, I'm angry.
Well, you're justified in that.
What was that? I couldn't do that anymore because he just kept flip-flopping.
At one
My
point, he said that what the Amalekites were going to do was gonna be worse than what Hitler did. It's wild.
And then he said that God. I don't want to rehash that. If you guys want to hear that conversation again, watch YouTube in like 2 weeks. It'll be up. Or maybe today. Are we posting this one today?
The whole live will be posted later today. Yes.
And then clips of it will come out as the weeks go on.
As the weeks go on, yeah.
It's not even that someone in the comments said that he was being circular. It's not that he was being circular. He was straight up contradicting himself. And also, I totally forgot, but during that last conversation, or maybe it was the guy before, I got 3 restrictions again. So I'm probably going to have to end this live, and I'm probably not coming back because why do I keep getting so many restrictions? I'm a nice lady, I promise.
You're doing too good of a job, and the Christians don't like that, so they're reporting you.
I'm not even gonna lie. I feel very good about the work I put in today. I think I've done some serious cooking, but there's no more Christians.
We gotta get you
and I do need a chef hat. I have an apron somewhere, but I don't think that would do the same. I'd have to like stand up for you guys to see.
I'll get a little sous chef hat, and then we can just cook them.
That last conversation really, I'm in a better mood now than when I started this live because I actually got people willing to engage, but those are the types of people that are engaging. Also, Jovan showed up to say gang gang, but I thought we weren't gang gang. I thought we weren't friends at all.
No, you said, remember, y'all besties now.
He did say we were besties, but he also said like 3 other times he was like, you should go be friends with the Christians instead.
It's a complicated relationship.
Jovan, I know you're not here right now, but I'm just gonna say I think you're really cool, Jovan. I'd like to be, if not friends, acquaintances. I'm just putting that out there into the universe, okay? He's meh. You're wrong.
Me
you're
too,
wrong.
Jovan.
I like Jovan. What?
What, Hatim?
I did not hear what you said, Hatim.
Jovan.
Yeah, I think Jovan's super, super fun, but I don't think he feels the same way about me. It's okay. It's okay. I love myself enough. But okay, we've sat here and chit chatted for like 30 seconds and no Christians have shown up and I don't want to just sit around and wait. So I think, yeah, this was the natural end well, it wasn't the natural end to the live. TikTok was forcing my live to end. They gave me 3 restrictions, probably for hate and harassment again, which I find, hate speech and hateful behavior. Hate speech and hateful behavior.
Yeah, just a quick reminder, everyone. We're at 696 subscribers now. I just need 4 more from you guys. 4 more of you awesome peoples to go on Arwen's show and subscribe, and we'll get to that sweet 700 number.
Darth Blockins, I love you.
You keep saying that, but you blocked me.
I didn't block you. You're here right now.
I know, but earlier.
I didn't want you up because that was a point in the live where I didn't want to have friendlies up because I was doing so good of a job cooking the Christians.
I know, I was just so ready to like role play as Darth Dawkins.
All right, be Darth Dawkins.
I was gonna do some practice runs for you.
All right, ready? Darth Dawkins,
What?
Why do you suck so bad?
You're contradicting me. Blocked.
Oh, shoot, he blocked me. Wow. All right, well, that was a great end to the live. Thank you all for being here. You're talking over him. Thank you all for being here. I will leave now, and I